Hey everybody, Tim Anderson here, aka Renfell, and welcome to another stuffy nose edition of my YouTube channel as I continue getting over the creep and crud. Welcome to today's episode where we're going to be talking about the upcoming MMO RPG mobile title being released in the Avatar universe called Avatar Reckoning. And man, there's just so much packed in there. I don't really know how to unpack that yet, so we're gonna try in this episode. But before we get in, if this is your first time here, do me a favor, like this video if you do like it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you get updates for all the future content that I do here on YouTube, which is varied and vast and encompasses a lot of different things. You can join our Discord, links are down there. And if you want to go above and beyond, dive into what I'm building with my wife and my brother, you can check out our Weave in the Void project, which is a 5th edition tabletop setting, a point and click adventure game in the sense of like old King's Quest, Quest for Glory games, and a book series like Dragonlance with chapter art and beyond, all of which are being produced over at our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/wandering hermits. You can pick up a cup of coffee there, support the project, pre-order all the things, do those sorts of cool things. Beyond that, let's dive into this episode. So, a couple years back, maybe it says 2021 on this, so maybe it wasn't a couple of years ago. Um, it was last year when we were first given the announcement for this Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Single player, open world, giant RPG. Let's go ahead and maximize that while we're sitting here. Visually, this game looks absolutely amazing. And the reason I'm mentioning this before we dive into the mobile RPG that was just announced is because when I think of Avatar, and I remember my experience going and seeing that film in IMAX 3D. And traditionally, I hate 3D films, but I went and saw that movie twice the day it came out in IMAX, and I saw it in 3D. And it was the first time I'd ever watched a movie where I got vertigo from they were jumping off trees and there's just huge, vast open spaces, and I was like, "Oh, it's making my stomach a little queasy." And even though it's been 10 years now, I still think that movie holds up pretty good because they were pushing the boundaries of what graphic fidelity was capable of even back then. And we take a look at a game like this single player RPG that's being produced, and we see a game that is pushing the boundaries of the fidelity of the consoles. This is being built for next gen consoles and high end PCs. And I have no idea. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Just off the cliff, diving. Oh, my vertigo. Oh, yeah. This is going to be a great game. And it's going to be a fun game. And people are going to be able to immerse themselves into it because it is a big thing where you can do it on a big screen. Maybe VR. Who knows? But it is representing, visually anyway, the world of Pandora in a way that is going to allow players to really immerse themselves into that environment. And that's something that is hard to do, but is getting better and better as time goes on and we get better and better graphics with these games. Which brings me back to my hesitation when it comes to the announcement that was just made about this upcoming game called Avatar Reckoning, an MMORPG shooter game on mobile. Now, I actually first came across this over at MMORPG.com, and apparently it's backed by Tencent and Disney. And we're going to read through the press release statement here, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through what my mind is thinking when I read these types of statements. So it says here, Avatar Reckoning will transport players to never before seen parts of Pandora, where they will meet with new Na'vi clans fighting to defend their home, battle powerful RDA troops seeking to exploit the resources of the moon, and encounter spectacular alien creatures, all playable solo or in dynamic multiplayer matches. Players will level up their avatar character, equip powerful weapons, and battle through single-player story missions, co-op, and player versus player game modes with innovative combat tailored for touchscreens. Built on the Unreal Engine 4, Avatar Reckoning will deliver cutting-edge visuals for mobile devices when it is released later this year. I have a hard time swallowing any statement that says cutting-edge visuals for mobile devices because in my mind, I can go back to the trailer that I just showed you, which is going to be for next generation consoles. Those are cutting edge visuals. I've never seen anything coming out on a mobile platform that is cutting edge in any way, shape, or form. So that statement made me just kind of frown and go, really? The other thing is that this thing's being billed as an MMORPG, and I've got quite a few games that I've played on the mobile. I keep what is it? Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I keep that installed on my phone, and that has some multiplayer to it, but it's not really an MMORPG type of multiplayer. It's more just here's a map and multiple people are contributing to that map. But no one's really playing together in real time like you would in a traditional MMORPG setting. And I'll also be the first to say that I haven't played a lot of other online mobile RPG shooters on the mobile device. So, for those of you who are watching this video who might have experience with these types of games, can you please drop a comment down below? Give me your thoughts. I'd love to know this because maybe it's just my naivete and just not knowing enough about the genre. I have a hard time wrapping my head around anyone expecting me to play an a multiplayer RPG on a mobile device because I'm either playing that on a console or I'm at my PC. Like those are the two ways that I play any sort of online co-op or multiplayer games that actually revolve around real-time cooperative experiences because I want to be in voice chat. I want to be communicating with my team members, my strike teams, whatever the case may be, whether we're talking Warzone or even like looking at, say, Baldur's Gate 3, which is going to have the multiplayer component or the co-op, anyway, or games like Divinity Original Sin 2, where you've got three of your friends and the four of you running around on a map together. Like that's what I think when I think of an online RPG. Whether or not you have the shooter element or not, then you get into like, well, is this going to play like Diablo, where it's going to be a top-down isometric setting, or are we talking first-person RPG like Mass Effect or over the shoulder like Mass Effect? I don't see any videos or anything on their website. Like, if you go to their website right now, which is where I'm at, like, there's no links to anything. There's no drop-down menus. Um, there's this thing where you can sign up for the latest news and give them your device information, but like, even at the bottom, there's been a ULA, an attribution link, a privacy policy, and a cookie policy, but they don't actually show us any gameplay other than this image, which is a top down, which makes me think that this is going to be like a Diablo style isometric game where it's going to be a top down RPG shooter where you're just moving your avatar in a direction and then just your one finger is moving the character in that direction and the other finger is like doing the actions and you're probably going to have a slew of actions at your disposal. I don't know. I would love to hear everybody's thoughts on this because when I think about an online MMORPG, my first gut reaction is not, ooh, cool, a new mobile title that I can go play. It's more like cringe. How are you calling a mobile game an MMORPG? Because I mean, technically it can be, but we have yet to see one come out that actually captures that essence of MMORPG, like combat and character development and all the things that make MMORPGs so great in terms of us being able to play alongside other players and have an avatar that represents us and build that avatar up. I feel like this is just a cash grab. I really honestly do. Because we're already building the Frontiers of Pandora, that single player MMORPG that's being developed by Ubisoft. That's going to be a great way to immerse ourselves. And if they were to build an MMORPG that had the graphics of that game and it was an online 3D environment, that's the type of game that I would consider a legitimate MMORPG. But when I hear this being called, I mean, they're literally calling it an MMORPG shooter game on mobile. So maybe they're not actually using the terminology MMORPG, but they definitely are using that MMO terminology, trying to capture that it's going to be a cool MMO experience. I don't know. Thoughts, everybody? I'd love to hear what you think about whether or not this title has any serious chance in hell of making it or not. I mean, is there any, I don't know how to be interested about something when it's just a splash screen. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you like this video, don't forget to like it. And of course, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get updates for future content that I produce here on YouTube. And don't forget, you can always join our Discord. Links are down there. And if you want to support the channel, the easiest way is to head over to our Patreon page for The Weave in the Void and pick up a cup of coffee for $3 a month. It's a great way to say thanks. And if you want to pre-order the stuff that I'm working on with my wife and my brother, there's different pre-order tiers there for the tabletop books and campaign modules, the point-and-click adventure game, and of course, the monthly chapters that come out every month, twice a month. Everybody gets access to those as basic subscribers, so hopefully we'll see you there as well. Patreon.com/Wandering Hermits. Stay safe, stay healthy, everybody, and I will see you all in the next episode. Peace.